Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Kellen here with Droid Life. And as you can see, I've got in front of me another Moto Z. And if you also notice, there is an extra word there. That word is play. So yes, indeed, the long-rumored Moto Z Play is now official. So we're going to take a quick look at it and show you guys what the difference is between this and the regular Zs. And to do that, we'll start off with a Moto Z Play unboxing. So very much like the Z Force and Z Regular, the Z Play is all about mods. So this, even though this is sort of the lesser of those phones in terms of specs and things like that, you still get all of that Moto mod functionality, which is, you know, what these new phones are all about and sort of what Motorola is pushing. Now, this is Droid again, so it is one of those things where Motorola and Verizon have really teamed up for exclusive releases this year. So again, you get Droid branding. In terms of inside the box, since this is an unboxing, we'll just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You got phone. So we'll pull this out real quick. You guys are already probably seeing that this is very much like the other devices. In here, though, you obviously have guides and things like that. You do get a slightly different back than what we saw included with the Moto Z droids. But then you also have a turbocharger, and then that's just a SIM tool. So let's push all that stuff out of the way as well and talk a little bit more about the device. So here it is in hand, and this is the first time I'm touching this outside of the box. So hang with me as we walk through this together. Actually, let's pull stickers off first because that's what we always do. So in terms of the phone, obviously this is a white and... hold on, let me see if I got any juice there. This is the white version with gold accents around. So a little bit different style from the regular Moto Z. But it is the same size. So you do have the pins here on the back for Moto Mods. And then so you can obviously add on those attachments and such. In terms of just specs, you have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 625 processor, which is an octa-core Adreno 506 GPU. You have Android 6.0.1 with all the Moto suite, and that includes Moto Display, Moto Voice, Moto Actions. There's that Moto and Droid boot up sound there. It is a 5.5-inch Super AMOLED HD display. So it's 1080p, not quad HD like you get on those other two, but it is 1080p and it's AMOLED, and so Moto Display should work really good. 32 gigs of internal storage. You also have SD card support up to 2 terabytes. 3 gig of RAM. You have a 16 megapixel shooter here on the back that's f2.0, has laser end phase detection autofocus. You have a 5 megapixel wide angle lens up front there. As far as the rest of it goes, you do have USB Type-C down here on the bottom. Turbocharging definitely here, so you can power this phone up quickly. It has a 3510 milliamp hour battery, so a decent sized battery. And Motorola is basically saying this is their longest lasting phone ever. So even over the Force Droid, which has a big battery as well, this thing, probably because of that 1080p display, should last even longer. You have that front ported speaker just like you did on the regulars, not stereo, but it is front, so you should get a decent audio experience there. Water repellent nano coating, NFC of course, the Moto Mods stuff of course, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So you notice it does have that, whereas the Z and the Z Force skipped that, and they have a dongle that attaches to that port. This actually does have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which is interesting. Fingerprint reader here. And that's pretty much it in terms of specs for this phone. I could try to jump through software, but what we'll do for just a second here is show you mod attachment. And so that means more sticker pulling. Some more sticker pulling, and just like the other phones, you just slap these on and they lock into place, and they shouldn't wiggle too much. Obviously these wood backs that come with the phone sort of help flush out that camera hump, because if you didn't notice, there is indeed a camera hump. To get these off, you just kind of lift on the bottom. So that, you know, that's how that works. If you want to see some of these other mods on here, like here's the Pico Projector. Again, same size, slaps right on there just like it did on the Moto Z phones. So all these mods and these phones are the same size for a reason. Here is that Toomey battery pack we took a look at. See right there, all of this stuff just fits right on there, which is what you would expect it to do, especially if they're trying to create a universal sort of mod system, right? They're going to want all of this stuff to work together. In terms of tour, On this right side here, you got volume up and down along with your power lock switch. Same sort of confusing layout that we had on the regular Moto Zs. Up top is your SIM tray, which also doubles as an SD card slot. You got nothing on this left side. There's that bottom once again with USB Type-C and 3.5mm headphone jack. Back there's the camera, and yes, it is a decent sized little hump there. Sort of a glass or maybe plasticky back, whereas the other one sort of had that metal back. This might be easier to wipe off. The pin placement, not quite as pretty or simple on this phone as it is on the other. And then again, up front, you have camera, flash, speaker, fingerprint reader. So there's just a tour. Here it is next to the Moto Z. So size-wise, obviously very comparable. One just has a quad HD and a Snapdragon 820. One has a 1080p and a Snapdragon 625, but fingerprint reader's in the same spot. No Moto mentioned down here though, which is kind of nice. On the back, here's the difference. Apologies for the fingerprints. This phone is impossible to get fingerprints off of. You can see that sort of two-tone look, and this is what I mean about it not looking as clean. It's just the Play looking as clean as the Z. You can see this has a big metallic plate, whereas this just shows some pins with that little subtle accent down there. But overall, they are very similar looking. This is the regular Z, so you can see how thin it is next to the Z Play. But similar design. One thing I did want to show you though is one of the new mods that's coming alongside it, and this is the often leaked Hasselblad camera. And so this is supposed to give you the ultimate smartphone camera experience, and we do have a full look at this coming up. So for now, I'll just show you what that looks like on there, and we'll have another video which you can actually watch down below on this as well. So anyways, this is the Moto Z Play. This has just been a quick unboxing. We'll probably dive into this a little bit more, but we do have a whole bunch of other phones that we'll need to be taking a look at shortly. So you'll have to stick with us if you do want to see more. If you have comments, questions though, let us know about those and we'll get back to you. For now, we're Droid Life. Peace.